Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I am Office Bloke Daz.
Collectively, we are the Office Blokes.
We are.
It is true. I think Office Bloke Mike is going to very quickly give you the cliff notes of our Patreon page.
Go to patreon.com, put in Office Blokes React. We've got tiers starting just £1.50. We've got a load of block content.
That doesn't mean say it quicker. It means be more concise.
Just keep it short.
We've got exclusive podcasts coming up on there soon as well, haven't we?
There's loads of exclusive stuff on there already, isn't there?
There is indeed. There's a load of block content going on, really good stuff. So, go down there and check it out. We appreciate the support.
We're kicking off the exclusive podcast with the one-on-one Q&As for specific
I've got those got a load of questions in now.
Q&As,
get them compiled and we can crack on with that, can't we? So,
nice.
That'd be good.
Right then, 12 life hacks that can help you survive. I see so many on Facebook, like so many really dodgy life hacks.
No, but these are ones that can help you survive.
Oh, I know, but like a lot of videos that purport to do these sort of things just show these convoluted, satisfying to the eye ways of just not achieving anything. Like the building ones and the sort of DIY ones are...
Folding your clothes when you're travelling. Never works.
I've never tried it. Just chuck them in.
Same.
Anyway, let's get into it. 12 life hacks that can help you survive. Let's do it.
"12 life hacks that can help you survive."
He sounds familiar.
He does.
In an emergency situation, the first thing that comes to mind is the advice of your friends or your family. However, sometimes even the most well-known and popular recommendations turn out to be wrong and harmful. Did you know applying ice to a bruise is not the best idea? And lifting up an unconscious person might lead to severe consequences. Here are the
We lost him.
12. Dealing with a foreign object in the eye. First things first, if there's something in your eye like a piece of glass, don't do anything yourself. Have someone drive you to the hospital. If the object is just an eyelash, then don't forget to wash your hands before you do anything. Try to locate the eyelash by looking in a mirror. Blink to make your tears wash the eyelash out. Once the object is in the corner of your eye, take a wet piece of cloth and use it to remove the eyelash.
Otherwise, you're going to die.
You should see me take my contact lenses out when I'm drunk and I've just eaten a kebab.
Oh, dear me. That's
Not wash my hands.
You probably eat them most of the time, don't you?
This is a pile.
Piles, got piles.
Yeah, just like chili sauce fingers straight in the eye. Go.
Oh, dear me.
Number 11. Applying ointments to a wound. Ointments contain unwanted moisture, which is a great environment for bacteria to reproduce more quickly. The best thing you can do is clean the wound in cool water with soap and put a dry bandage on it. You will see that the wound will heal more quickly. Number 10. Rubbing a person with a fever with alcohol or vinegar. Vinegar and alcohol are absorbed into the blood, so it's kind of a way to get drunk or to make a wacky salad dressing. Seriously speaking, alcohol rubbing may create intoxication, while vinegar will significantly raise acidity, which is especially dangerous for children. So don't believe these outdated pieces of advice. Drink a lot of water, tea, and other non-alcoholic fluids. Cool the air in the room to a temperature of 61 to 64 degrees Fahrenheit, or from 16 to 18 degrees Celsius.
Cool, that's
in these
warming up in my
conditions,
office.
the patient will get over the fever by
Swelter 'em, wouldn't you?
themselves. If they don't, they should see a doctor.
I've not heard of that before.
No, and he used the term wacky salad dressing wrong. I always thought it meant something else. No, I've never heard that one, but you can rub alcohol all over me all you like if I'm, if I'm ill.
Seems a bit warm, that, to cool it down, though.
It's a bit,
Anyway.
isn't it? Yeah.
I have my house at 20.
Yeah, my house stays at 19 because everyone else is cold who live
Yeah.
there. All the other two people.
You have
And
your
then,
car on 16, don't you?
My car's, well, that's because that's the lowest it goes. It doesn't go to low
Oh,
anymore.
really?
Doesn't-
Would you
can't
go
put it
lower
on
than
low.
that if you could?
Yeah, I'd put it on low, but it doesn't do low.
Wow.
Don't mind, it only goes to 16, that's it.
Get the windows open.
Number 9. Lifting up an unconscious person. If someone faints, you have to lift them up and sprinkle some cold water on them, right? Well, that's what most people think. Like this video if you thought so. However, lifting a fainted person up will only aggravate the spasm. What you should do is lift their legs up, unbutton any tight pieces of clothing, and don't let them stand up right after they come around. After they regain consciousness, don't let them drink coffee or energy drinks that many people love. Caffeine will only lead to dehydration. Number 8. Treating burns with butter or sour cream.
I've never heard that before.
Many people believe that this method is effective only because it...
But sour cream, because it cools it, doesn't it?
Well, do you remember there was
I
I remember being a kid when there was a phase of everyone putting yogurt on sunburn, and it just is horrifically painful, isn't it? Because it's alive.
I don't get sunburn like you would.
It was a thing.
I imagine you suffer that more than I do.
I get away with it most of the time. Factor 50. But yeah, people were putting yogurt on it, and it just...
I never even heard of that, putting yogurt on it.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, I think it's a
that
council estate treatment. No, the yogurt's already there with the thrush.
Burns, it's just like cold water, isn't it? You burn your hand under cold water for a minute or two.
Well, we're health and safety trained, we do know.
Absolutely.
First
I'm
aid
not.
trained.
You are.
Yeah.
You are.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not.
I thought you were one of the first aiders.
I didn't do first aid, no. No, I didn't actually.
Are you a first aider here?
Davis.
Yeah.
relieves pain. But why do butter and sour cream make you feel better? The thing is, we keep them in the fridge, so when we put them on a burn, they're cold. The danger is, though, that butter and sour cream dry your skin and disrupt thermal exchange. This results in heat having nowhere to go but deeper into the skin, causing even more damage. What you should do is hold your hand in the cool water for 15 minutes. This will help with the pain. Do you know why blisters appear on the burnt spot? In our bodies, everything happens for a reason. Blisters protect the wound from infection. Removing the protective layer may lead to festering. Number 7. Setting a bone on your own.
What?
Beg your pardon.
I mean, come on.
I don't know, but that's...
What's he talking about here now? It's just kind of bit...
I feel like that's quite prejudicing against single people. That
First time heard it call that.
Are you a professional trauma surgeon? If not, you should never set a dislocated joint on your own, no matter how cool or brutal that looks in the movies. It may result in additional injuries and the resulting litigation. The best course of action would be to immobilize the injured limb and go to the hospital as soon as possible. Bandage the limb in a comfortable position, immobilizing not only the place of possible fracture, but also the two closest joints as well. Number 6. Applying warmth to a sprain. When your muscles are sprained, a warm cloth won't help. On the contrary, heat will strengthen the blood flow, leading to a more severe swelling. In the first days after the injury, apply cold. It will lessen the inflammation and kill the pain. Try to use the sprained limb as little as possible for at least the first 48 hours.
I did. I'd never put heat on something like that.
Number 5. Making yourself vomit in case of poisoning. The standard recommendation for poisoning is to make yourself vomit. It might sound reasonable, but actually it's strictly prohibited. First of all, the poison can get into the lungs and damage them. The second problem is that if someone was poisoned with some chemicals, vomiting doubles the chance of burning your throat. Finally, it might be very difficult to stop vomiting once it starts. So this can lead to dehydration and even more severe consequences.
Yeah.
that one surely depends on what you've been poisoned with.
You do read it on a lot of bottles, don't you know, like warnings that do not induce vomiting if swallowed.
But you know what they do? I mean, we reacted to a Louis C.K. bit about it, where his dog ate all the chocolate.
Yeah.
And then it has to neck, like, I can't remember what it was like.
Some sort of ingredient, wasn't it?
Essentially a poison, though, and it just makes the dog puke up all the chocolate. And
Yeah.
it's all right.
Yeah. I think that's because chocolate... Yeah.
How many people get poisoned unless you live in, like...
Depends how crazy
It's difficult.
your partner is, doesn't
Where's
it?
the Spire?
I suppose you might...
where they come to look at the
Salisbury.
Salisbury.
Yeah.
You might have, I mean, not poison, it could be just like foods or substances you shouldn't swallow, like kids might do it, mightn't they? Certain
Not
things.
if you're a
Decent
good
parent.
parent.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think that's a specific one that I think you need to be more granular with that one.
Yeah.
And I am an expert in these things. So.
Just don't fucking drink poison.
Although stomach's a pretty hostile environment, isn't it, for anything really?
Don't know. My
Yeah,
food
but-
smells all right.
You know, with all the chemicals in there, and for breaking down food and stuff like that.
I do eat a lot of spice, so yeah.
In this situation, the only smart thing you can do is call the ambulance as fast as possible. Number 4. Rescuing a drowning person. There's only one obstacle on your way to rescue a drowning person: not being able to swim. If you are, though, nothing can stop you from saving that person's life. Remember to approach them from behind so they don't see you coming, otherwise the person may hinder you or drag you down in their panic. After you've approached the person, grab them under the armpits or by the chin and move to the shore, keeping their head at your belly.
That looked pretty easy, didn't it, walking through the water?
It made it look a bit simple, that, didn't it?
Just put your feet down, you won't drown. I can stand up, so can you. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah.
Creeping up behind someone who's drowning.
Well, it's telling you how to do it. Don't take him from shock, don't it? Just go from behind, grab him by the chin.
Get that.
Yeah.
Keep your head under
get
for
that.
5 minutes and say, stop doing it. Put yourself together.
I'm not going to tell you again.
Number 3. Pulling out objects from wounds. Now, you can pull a splinter from a finger or a small glass shard from your hand,
Where?
but you must never try to pull out objects from serious wounds. Even doctors keep them in place until the patient is in surgery. The thing is, while the object is inside the wound, it doesn't let the bleeding start. So, until you are under professional supervision, don't do anything, not even touch the object. The only thing you can do is put some alcohol on the wound, but you must be ready for the wound to hurt very much. Ah! Whoa, that's a splinter. No matter how scary a knife in a leg looks like, don't try to be a hero and just go to the hospital. Number 2. Applying ice to a bruise. There's nothing actually wrong with treating a bruise with ice, but most people do it wrong. You shouldn't apply ice directly to the skin if you don't want to get a cold burn. Instead, put a cloth between your skin and a pack of ice. However, even using a cloth doesn't mean there is no risk of being burnt. That's why you should put ice for a maximum of 20 minutes at a time, and then take a 90-minute break. If for some reason you don't have a cloth you can use, don't use ice at all. Believe us, you'd prefer to have a bruise rather than a cold burn. Another thing you should know is that there is no point in using ice 48 hours after the injury. And number 1. Using stitches to close cuts. It's not wrong to use stitches. In most cases, it's the only way to close a wound. But putting stitches is a long and painful procedure which requires removing the stitches after the wound heals. So, in some cases, a less brutal thing might work. Skin glue. Skin glue is very quick and virtually painless. Wash the wound with cold water before using glue. Then, stop the bleeding by pressing the wound. Close the edges of the wound and put skin glue along it. However, if you see that the wound is too big, don't take the risk and go to the hospital for professional help. Please like this video if you found it useful, and tell us your first aid stories in the comment section below.
Yeah, first aid stories are going to be fucking someone's put super glue instead of skin glue in it. Hey?
What shall I do? You just see
should
it
call it
coming, can't you? Yeah.
I've known loads of people use super glue on wounds like that.
Really?
Yeah.
What, during the Falklands?
No, in skate parks and stuff. It's a thing.
Really?
Yeah.
They're like grazies, though, aren't they?
No,
like gashes,
no.
are they?
No, I've seen like elbows that have needed, when they've eventually got to hospital, like 30 stitches in them. And,
Really?
Yeah.
Why would you put super glue in it?
It just seals it together.
Is it not sort of a...
This is not medical advice, so don't take it.
No
I was
shit.
going to say, yeah.
Yeah, but
don't do it to
or
kids,
YouTube
will
and
you?
boss stick.
Yeah.
Super glue is very commonly used in certain situations by people who aren't
Fancy that.
doctors.
Getting into your bloodstream.
People who
and
aren't
things like
doctors.
Yeah, you've got to caveat
I
everything
don't
you say.
think you
nowadays.
see many doctors on skateboards anyway, mate.
You never know.
Do you?
There was an article in The Guardian the other day, not that I read The Guardian, about how...
Hang on, you're a skateboarding doctor who reads The Guardian.
No, but it was about the new rise of people in between mid-30s to 50s that are starting skateboarding at the moment for... it's amazing for mental health and for community and all this sort of stuff. There's a big push since the pandemic of people mid-40s just picking up a skateboard.
And being injured.
And The Guardian wrote about it.
Have you got your super glue?
Yeah.
You got to wear pads. Like if you don't grow up doing it, you got to put pads on.
Yeah, I
definitely.
can imagine. Yeah.
Anyway,
Some interesting tips there,
fairly
though.
straightforward. Some of them aren't, but
some stuff I didn't know there. I'd have done the opposite to what
Same
they,
here.
Yeah.
So,
Again,
see, education with the office blokes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Medical advice from the office blokes. Dave.
He seems to be sort of insinuating at the end there that people would just stitch it up normally, saying it's a bit time consuming, so just use glue instead.
Yeah.
I mean, no one's going to sew their own arm up either.
I've done the butterfly stitches on myself before, but they're the little plasters to close a wound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I get that. That's all right, isn't it? But
That was before we were sponsored by Manscaped. That's all I'll say.
You said
office bloke.
handbag. Mate,
we don't want to know
too much
that.
info.
That was bad. It was genuinely really bad. It was scary. Well, you're not going to tell anyone, so I had to go to Boots and buy a butterfly stitch.
You just have a quick look at this. Put your phone on the counter like that. Ball sack hanging out.
Yeah. Why's the blood dribbling out your shorts?
You've been using a bit on that.
Oh,
Mate.
Super gluing my hand to it.
you know like that.
Is that glue? No. Hope you guys enjoyed it too. Don't forget, like and subscribe, hit the bell, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.